What's up, guys? Neil Orfield here to talk a little Underdog NBA. We no longer have best ball contests. We can enter. Maybe they'll start doing some second round contests or something like that. But currently, we don't have any best ball that we can enter. So I'm just going to be doing a daily draft here, talking about the 2-game slate that is happening tonight. I entered the Tuesday tip off. It's a $5 buy-in with $6,000 to first. Really cool contest. Underdog, of course, is your one-stop shop for everything as a better. We've got the best ball, of course. We've got these daily drafts. We've got pick'em. If you're not in a legal betting state, you can enter pick'em contests. You can and win up to 20x your entry fee for getting 6 picks right. So anything you can possibly want to find, you can find on Underdog. Today, not going to be doing anything with the pick'em. I'm just going to be entering one daily draft for tonight's NBA slate. So just a 2-game slate: Boston, Atlanta, Phoenix, and the Clippers. Looks like I got the 5th pick in this one. This is the second draft I've done. I got the 5th pick in both of them. So, not my favorite spot to pick, but we'll do what we can do with it. You can see here in this draft, we also have 5 of the 6 of us have the badge, which means we've played a lot of these contests. So some experienced players in this draft. Not the end of the world, though. One thing that we just learned before I started, maybe 10, 15 minutes ago, learned that Josh Hart is going to play tonight. He had been questionable. He has an ADP of like 34 or something. Yeah, 34 ADP, and we've got him ranked a little bit ahead of that. So if I can reach a little bit for Josh Hart, I might, because my guess is he is not been drafted in every single league. And if you can get him at a player at less than 100% ownership who has a pretty good chance of doing pretty well, I'm going to be interested there. So Josh Hart, definitely a player that I'm targeting. I was not able to get him in my first draft. Here now, I've already ranked the top 45 players. I've already ranked them here according to our FanDuel projections, which Underdog uses the exact same scoring system as FanDuel. So I just use our FanDuel projections to rank our players. Jaylen Brown, our top projected player, remaining in the 5 hole. So I'm going to take him here. In my first draft, I was able to get Trae Young on the bring back, which I like to see that, do a little game stack early on with 2 of the, bigger stars from these teams. I like stacking them together. So I was happy with that. Okay, not able to get it this time, but I'll just go with Russell Westbrook. He is one of our best projected players. Obviously not the best matchup against Phoenix, but you're not generally finding great matchups in the players. Other than the Celtics, I guess, have a great matchup here, but otherwise, not really the best defensive matchups on the board for these teams. I'm okay with that start. And again, these drafts are super flex, so you don't have to worry about position at all in these daily drafts. You just generally take the higher projected players, but then you want to get a little bit different just in terms of how high owned are these players going to be? What how do the combos look? So like sometimes if I do get Josh Hart and I take him a little bit early, I might be able to pair him with somebody who he hasn't been often paired with because he's been like the 34th overall pick. So like if I take Josh Hart and somebody else who was going right around that 34th pick, maybe they aren't in as many lineups together. So you can think about it from combinatronics. Is that the word? Something like that. Something close to that perspective as well. Typically, though, I'm searching for values. One of the bigger things I'm looking for here. Getting my arm wrapped up in my cord here. You can see the ADPs here, and sometimes they don't match up exactly with the way we rank players. So sometimes I might think, well, if I can sleep on a player, even if he projects better, if I can sleep on him, get him at a later pick, gotta consider doing that as well. Maybe less likely in a draft like this, where looks like a lot of sharps in this draft. Of course, I got Head Chopper here at the turn between my 2 picks. Very experienced DFS player, probably pretty good at this. So might not be able to pull that much here, but we'll see what we can do. Yeah, I'm not sure if Clint Capella, like if I could hold off on Clint Capella and take Derek White, maybe something I would consider, but my guess is I'll be able to get Al Horford with this 20th pick at the very least. Would love to get Ayton here. If he falls to me, I'm on board. Take Smart. Fiegel. Looks like he might be auto drafting. All right, he took Smart, so I can take Ayton. Happy with that pick. He was our higher projected player. Now let's see what Head Chopper does. Obviously, I'd love it if we get Capella coming back to me, but if not, my guess is he's going to take Derek White here. We'll see. And even if he does take Capella and Horford, it's not like Derek White would be a horrible pick here, especially being able to pair White with Aiton with the ADP here. Probably not the most common thing. So we'll see what Head Chopper does. Also, one of the since I am drafting with all a bunch of badge players, I'm guessing that a lot of them are doing many drafts at once and auto drafting. So taking a little bit longer than I'd like it to, since I'm drafting against all these pros. But what are you going to do? Happy to see you took Derek White, so I'm going to get either Capella or Horford here. Oh, he jumped in. He took Zubats. That's very. So I'm going to take Capella here. Looking good. Obviously, tough matchup with the Celtics, but I'm liking the way this team is coming together. I think I got all of these players at slight value. Maybe not Jaylen Brown. I think actually he was our fifth top projected. I got him in the fifth spot. So outside of Brown, though, getting some nice value in our projections. Now this next one, so we have Josh Hart down here, but I would actually probably reach for Josh Hart ahead of any of these players ahead of him if I can get him, just because I think he was undrafted in some drafts, and I'll be able to get him with some unique combos by drafting him a little bit early, which typically, obviously, it doesn't make that much sense to draft players a little bit early. But if you can, we're getting down into the players where I don't think there's any like true studs. So like, I think that Josh Hart could very easily outscore anybody else from this range down below. So at this point, I think I'm a little bit more willing to reach than I would be. Like I would probably wouldn't take Josh Hart with the pick 20, but I could still get Capella. But if I could get him here, I would absolutely love it. My guess is with this group, he's going to go a little bit earlier, unfortunately, but we'll see. In my last draft, I had the fifth spot as well. He went in this 28 spot, so he went one pick before me. I was really bummed to see that. Who knows? Maybe with these guys auto drafting, they have not adjusted their rankings yet. We'll see. Yeah, RJ Barracon. So it looks like I'm probably not even going to be reaching anyway because he's our second highest projected remaining player. Hopefully, some of these guys, Brogdon quickly, these guys go before Hart up here. But really, everybody kind of taking their sweet time here. All right, still live to get Hart here. And then I have to start thinking about what I want to do with my sixth pick. So if I can get Hart here, I'm going to take him. But then with my sixth pick, I have ranked the top 45 here, and there's only 36 players drafted in each of these drafts. We have six players, 6 rounds, so 36 total players drafted in these. And I've ranked through the top 45. So might want to think about like this is where I might start thinking about like, do I want to take an Isaac Okoro, reach a little? Okay, Josh Hart just went, and he got him. I might on my last pick reach a little bit down for one of these players who's, maybe not drafted in every single draft. Like Landry Shamet doesn't project extremely well here, but if campaign is ultimately ruled out, he's going to project a little bit better. So maybe with my last pick, I'll do something a little bit weirder. For now, just going to stick with the projections for the fifth pick and get weird with the sixth. All right, so he took Torrey Craig. I'll go Norm Powell. And now I got to think about there's a lot of kind of interesting options down here, players that maybe are not drafted every single draft. So I think I'm going to skip over quickly in this one, even if he's available to me. Maybe not, because he is ADP of 23. I'm still a little bit, but that's probably a little bit inflated because of people thinking Josh Hart might be out. So I might want to drop down a little bit, maybe take somebody who's not drafted all the time. Terrence Mann, probably another one of those players. I feel like the Clippers might be better off without Westbrook, but I also have Westbrook already, so maybe it doesn't make sense to pair them necessarily. Could take a Coro. Obviously, it's a long shot, but like anybody down here is kind of a long shot, to be honest. I'm going to think about a Coro. Could take Bay, but he's ADP of 33 is probably generally being drafted. I'm torn here. A lot of bad picks to pick from. I'm gonna go with Okoro. I'm just gonna do it. Don't have anybody else from Cleveland. Yep, gonna do it. Okoro's my guy. So doesn't project all that well, but would it be that shocking to see Isaac Okoro outscore quickly Okongwu, Levert, Hunter? Like I could see it happening. Not the likeliest scenario, but with that six pick in particular, when I'm not able to differentiate earlier on, and I don't really think, I don't love the way my lineup looks, then I'm a little bit more likely to take a flyer at the end. If I had just absolutely loved my draft up until this point, I probably would have gone just with a more standard, quickly Bay, maybe Hunter, somebody in that range. But since I don't really feel like I differentiated here, especially with Jalen Brown being my first overall pick, like I'm very likely that, you know, at least three of these four outscore Jalen Brown here. So when you're not able to get a great, early start to your draft, or if like Trey Young had fallen to me, maybe I don't know. But here, when I didn't love the start of my draft, I think it makes sense to reach a little bit and hope you can, just nail your final pick. And you never know. Then, hopefully you're obviously still hoping. Kind of need a big game from the rest of your guys there. But yeah, went a little bit different because the start of the draft did not go, perfectly. I didn't have any major issues with it. It wasn't like it went horribly. It was just, the guys I wanted to fall to me in general did not fall exactly where I wanted them to. So I think that was an okay draft. Not probably my favorite draft that I've done. I think that you're much better off if you can get one of the early picks in these drafts. But at the end of the day, I'm okay with it. I think it has at least a shot to win. Anyway, that'll do it for this draft for me. Please comment if you have questions. They do these daily drafts every single day. I think as long as there is, maybe even on single game sites, it's a little bit different format if it's single game, but as long as there's at least two games, you're going to get this format where you're, six players in each draft, and then taking six players per team. So really fun to do these drafts. If you have any questions about the format, how it works, feel free to to ask in the comment section of this video, and I will make sure I check later on to see if there are any questions that I can answer. You can always obviously DM me on Twitter, also at PlayerQDFS. If you have questions, happy to answer any questions there. But yeah, that'll do it for this video. Good luck to you tonight.